Hi YouTube, mainly friends, I assume. If you can tell that I've been crying, no you can't. Who told you that? I'm just gonna be kicking off a new series that may or may not be ripping off Anthony Fantano, aka The Needle Drop, aka Drake's number one hated. Number one hated, not number one hater, because he's not really a hater of Drake. I mean, he is, but Drake is a hater of him. So really, Drake is Anthony Fantano's number one hater, if you think about it. Okay, so I want to do like a talking about the Billboard top 10, because Anthony Fantano's done like a tier list series of the Billboard top 10 songs from each year from like 2010 to 2022. And yeah, I just think that Anthony Fantano could use some more people ripping him off. So that's what I'm going to do several times. Okay. And I'm starting with 2010 as he did, because the formula worked. So I'm doing it. I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for us. Okay. And I want to start with the number 10 most popular song of 2010, Break Your Heart, Tayo Cruz featuring Ludacris. Now, this song, I never want to hear it again in my life. It was good the first 50 times that I heard it. And then after that, it was bad. And when that switchover occurred, I was probably like 8 or something. I don't fucking know. I can't count. Okay. But ever since then, it's been a bad song. I haven't wanted to hear it. So if you average that out, I would say it's mid, right? Because it hasn't gotten that much radio play. I haven't had to hear it that often since the changeover occurred. So if I was to like even it out, I would say all of my emotional reactions in the end kind of null. Kind of you know. So I would say a solid 5 on Break Your Heart by Tayo Cruz featuring, I can talk. I can pronounce words. Featuring INNG. Okay, I would say it's a 5. Now, on to Dynamite by Tayo Cruz. Now, this one, even worse, even more bad, because I know that I know it. I know that I could sing every word of that song if it was on. But in this moment, I can't remember it at all. And I feel like that's a crime. Like, to be a top 10 song, and I feel like I know it by heart, but at the same time, I don't. Like, I really could not be fucked to remember the words. Like, if I was really pressed, I feel like I could remember the chorus, but the verses? What verses? What instrumental? What production? Literally nothing. This is a good time to say, I haven't re-listened to any of these songs in preparation for this video. That's kind of the aesthetic that I'm going for. The aesthetic of, like, stupid and ignorant. Okay, I feel like that's kind of the best aesthetic, in the edutainment era of YouTube, you know? Everyone postures about how much they know. And I'm just, like, I gotta be original, okay? So I'm gonna posture about what I literally don't know. But, like, these were the top 10 songs in years that I've been alive. So, like, I know them enough. I feel like I'm giving a layman's dumbass fucking horror opinion about things that everyone could do this, but they're not. I aim to be like a Jackson Pollock, okay? You look at it, you're like, wow, this is a bunch of splatters on a wall. And you're like, hey, I could have done this. But you didn't. You literally didn't. You didn't do it because I'm doing it. Okay? And you know, you can copy me. You can copy me as well. I'm copying Anthony Fantano. And you could copy me from that. And we would be like a double copy That could be really base. Like, that's honestly more original than if you came up with an original idea, you know? Just putting that out there. I invite all of my friends who see this to make their own videos that are also this, right? Say even the same things as me. Literally transcribe this entire video and just do different inflections that sound better than mine when you read it. Maybe use a better camera, an actual microphone. It could be fucking brilliant. Get 100 views on that shit. Anyway, next song. Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. Now, Bad Romance by Lady Gaga is good. I like it. I think it's fun. Is it a bit dated? Yes. But I feel like it's dated in a good way. Like, there are electro-pop club songs from 2010 that, like, you hear them and you're like, ew, 2010. But you hear Bad Romance by Lady Gaga and you think, 2010. You know what I mean? I think it kind of embodies what was good about the club boom. Like, the energy, the somewhat opaque lyrics on occasion, the subsuming of an interesting vocal talent into danceable goo. I think that's just, it just really the best foot forward of 2010, perhaps, you could say. So yeah, Bad Romance, good shit. Now, Love the Way You Lie. Gonna be real, this song was on, like, my 2018 Spotify Wrapped of, like, my top 100, they make the playlist of, like, your top 100 songs of that year that you listen to the most? And that was on mine, because I was in this, like, era where the reason I would listen to music is not because I liked it, but because it, like, went along with a story that I was thinking about or something. Like, I know that's really cringe. That's, like, insanely cringe coming from me. But, that's just how it was at the time. And so I was like, wow, Love the Way You Lie really captures this kind of really dramatic, toxic, mutually abusive relationship so well. And Eminem, he really sounds like a tortured man. And Rihanna really sounds like a tortured woman. Shut up, Will. You listen to what the whole thing I'm gonna say. I was like, wow, this totally plays so well with my Ash and Serena Pokemon fanfiction that I'm writing in my head. This really, I don't even want to get into it, but, like, in my fanfiction that I was making up in my head, Ash Ketchum and Serena were in an abusive relationship in a world that was like Pokemon, but, like, not Pokemon. Like, all the Pokemon were gone. Will, stop looking at me. It was just, like, a teen drama where they were, like, trying to kill each other, and there was like falling down off of cliffs, and there was stabbings, and there were so many drugs, and a bunch of pop stars. They became pop stars in my fanfiction that I was making up in my head. Anyway, and Love the Way You Lie was one of the soundtrack pieces to my plotting of that fanfiction, so I listened to it a lot in 2018. Now, at the ripe age of 18 years old, in 2022, I fucking hate Love the Way You Lie so much. It sucks so bad. Like, and I know Anthony Fantano disagrees with me, but that will not stop me from shitting on this fucking song. Because people can say, oh, it captures a mutually abusive relationship pretty well. Here's the thing. Domestic violence experts don't think that mutually abusive relationships are actually real. There's someone who injects violence into the relationship and someone who responds. And even if both people are technically physically violent, that there is a dynamic there. And one of those people, the person who injected the violence, is likely to go into another relationship and do the same thing, whereas the person who didn't will move on with their fucking life when it's over, hopefully. And I feel like that's very different. Those are two very different people to be. One of them is a piece of shit, and the other one is, like, maybe forgivable, right? Probably forgivable, I think. So, I listened to it and I'm like, wow, this is the song that some dudes listen to when they're lying to themselves about how actually their girlfriend manipulated them into hitting them. Like, this is an abuser core anthem to me. And I can't unthink that. Because I saw this, like, kind of statistics and this analysis and stuff during the trial TM, with capital T, capital M, up in the corner of the superscript, okay? TM superscript. And I just can't unthink it. And I saw recently this video where Chris Brown is, like, talking about how, oh, I only punched Rihanna, punched as in punched one time, because she was kicking me. She was kicking me and then I punched her. Actually, it was a mutual abuse. And there were a bunch of people who were like, wow, I've never heard him tell this part of the story before. And it's like, did you see that photo of Rihanna? That photo of Rihanna where she ended up in the hospital and think, wow, she was punched one time. She was retaliatorily punched. Like, do you think that Chris Brown suffered the minor industry consequences that he suffered because he retaliatorily punched his girlfriend one time? Like, I feel like our culture has this obsession with mutually abusive relationships that in all reality do not actually exist. At least not in the way that they are portrayed. And I think my hot take about it is that the reason we as a society, and not individual abusers, because I think individual abusers are drawn to that narrative because it is more charitable for them. But I think that as a society, we're attracted to these songs because, or this media or whatever the hell it is, because it represents not our relationships with other people, but how sometimes it feels to have a relationship with yourself. That a lot of people, their experience of their own psyche is a mutual abuse, is like warring sides of yourself, ways that you kind of fight back against impulses that you have, ways that you berate yourself, ways that you sabotage your own life, etc., etc. The way that you can't escape yourself, I think, is something about these mutual abuse narratives that people like so much. Is like, no matter how bad it gets, you just can't leave because you're tied together by soul. You basically share the same soul. These are the same person. Like, that's how it reads to me. And it kind of feeds into how I feel about love songs about specific people in general, is often when you get a song that's about someone else, it's like, and I think about this with The Weeknd a lot, is all of his songs about these women who have, like, they're so untouchable, you can't get to their heart. They're only after the money and the sex and the drugs and the fame. And it's like, is this really about Uniqua? Is this really about Christine? Is this really about Diamond? Like, whoever the fuck it is. Those names were quite random. I think Uniqua was a character on a TV show that I watched when I was a child. But anyway, it was the Backyardigans. Anyway, sorry about that. Backyardigans tangent over. Are they really about those women? Or are they about you? Are they about you? Or are they things about you? It goes back to, like, the idea that everything that somebody says to you is actually about them, or anything that anybody does is not about you, it's about them. And I think that really translates to love songs, and then in turn translates to how we think about and are attracted to narratives about mutually abusive romantic relationships. I know that was really maybe a bit heady, maybe a bit based of me, maybe too based for you, too based for your mind, but I hope that over time, maybe it sinks in. Leave a comment, leave a subscription for more mind-numbingly grotesquely over the top analyses of things that don't matter. So anyway, that's why I fucking hate Love the Way You Lie. Next, Airplanes, B.O.B. featuring Hayley Williams. Now, I think people have said, oh, it's melodramatic. Oh, it's cringe. The Airplanes thing is so over the top. But let me raise you. That's fun as fuck. Look, I think it's fun to be melodramatic as shit. Look, I just think it has a place. It's camp. Airplanes is camp.
Can we raise more to twy?
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Will. More to twy. So right. Like, there's a reason people have latched onto Airplanes as the meme that it is. And it's because it's hilarious. And, like, why would hilariousness not translate into the goodness? Like, looking at this list, like, I can say Bad Romance is like, probably a better song than Airplanes. But has Airplanes contributed more to the culture? Yes. Absolutely. And so I think that warrants it being considered good. Even if, were you to listen to it, it's not. Now, I don't like... So, Finn McKenty, punk rock MBA, motherfucking married to a cringe political bait YouTuber. We don't fucking talk about it. Fucking clickbait ass Finn McKenty, punk rock MBA man. If you don't know who I'm talking about, just let the fucking diss sink in. I hope it was entertaining enough to waste your energy on thinking about how much I despise this man and his content. I don't actually know him, but he seems like maybe he's a bad person in real life. That's just my hypothesis. Just a little hypothesis from me to you. That someone I don't know is a piece of shit. Who cares? Who cares? Nobody's gonna see this. Anyway, tangent aside. I was gonna say, I don't like it when critics are like, oh, it's popular, so, like, I guess, you gotta give it that, so it's probably good. Or, like, well, it did sell this much, or it was popular for a reason. And it's like, state the reason. What reason? Like, I feel like you need to make that connection to make the popularity argument. Like, you can't just say it was popular for a reason. That's not enough. It needs to be, this is why I think it was popular, and that's why its popularity is a supporting argument for its goodness. Right? Because something can be popular for shit reasons. Like, something can be popular because it's controversial. And the controversy is, like morally fucked up. Like, something can be popular for that reason. That doesn't make it good. But I think something can be popular because it attaches to an impulse that is fine and good and fun, which I think Airplanes does. And so I think Airplanes' popularity and cultural longevity, because it has there are reasons attached to that, should be counted in its favor as a song. That's my opinion. Now, oh my god, Usher featuring will.i.am. Will, why are you looking at me? Why do you keep looking at me?
Featuring who?
will.i.am.
Wow.
With periods in between. Okay. Brother interjection aside, I think this song probably sucks balls. I've heard many people say that it sucks balls, and I think that's probably true. But in the past, when I listened to it, I wasn't mad about it. Because Usher is just such a good singer that, like, he could sing over anything and it would make it, like, somewhat okay. Like, and the whole oh my gosh, oh my god is just real. It's quite cringe. Let's be real. And the production has aged quite badly. But, like, if it comes on in a club, I'm not leaving. Like, there are a lot of bad songs that if they come on, I'm leaving. Like, I'm literally out of there. I'm literally making, like, a leaf and leaving, okay? But OMG, I'll sit through it. It's fine. It's not that bad. It's a bit nostalgic even. I feel like there's a range for which if it's really bad, nostalgia doesn't make it tolerable. But if it's like not that bad, nostalgia makes it tolerable. You know what I mean? That's actually a very simple observation. I'm sorry for wasting your time with that. But that's just how I feel about OMG. Now, California Girls, Katy Perry featuring Snoop Dogg. This song makes me achy in my spirit because I'm not in California. Why am I not in California having a good time? Why am I not drinking that fucking rosé that Snoop Dogg is putting in advertisements all over YouTube? Why am I not lounging on a beach with a G-string bikini and drinking rosé that I cannot afford? Why am I not doing that? And so for that reason, California Girls, I think it's fine, but when I hear it, it makes me mad and thirsty for some reason. It's the kind of song where I hear it and I'm like, okay, that's just the vibe, right? So it gets a 7 for that. Now, Hey Soul Sister by Train. I have a distinct memory of being in my house and my mom being like, hey, I really love this song, and showing me the music video of the song. And you guessed it, it was Hey Soul Sister by Train. And I remember hearing the Hey Soul Sister line and all the other lines in the song and being like, wow, I'm a dumb fucking child. This is probably really smart and I just don't understand because my IQ is equal to the temperature of the refrigerator that is next to me right now. But, you know, my mom's a grown-up and she likes it, so it's probably actually good. And I'll just give it a decade and then I'll look back and I'll understand that Hey Soul Sister, those specific lyrics, and hefty bag to hold my love. I was like, what's a hefty bag? A hefty bag, is that a big bag? Hefty? Hefty as in fat bag? You know, fat bag to hold my love? Maybe that's something I just don't understand. 2-ply, I was like, I don't buy things. Do I know what's 2-ply? No. So I was like, okay. I just don't understand. And the ukulele sound, the chipper ukulele in the background, I was like, wow, I'm a child. I like basically all music that I hear. This is fine. And then I grew up. And I've realized that I put too much faith in grown-ups and the power of brains because it does not make any more sense now than it did when I was fucking 6. It doesn't. It still makes absolutely no sense. And the instrumental only sounds worse. I hear it and I'm like, why have I not left this grocery store yet? Why am I still in the produce aisle? Why am I still choosing between 2 different kinds of heirloom tomatoes? I should be gone. I'm actually 40. I'm a 40-year-old mom. I have 3 children, and they all hate me. That's what's happening right now. That's how I feel when I hear Hey Soul Sister. I'm like, wow. Another person in another life enjoys this. And that person is happier than me, probably, honestly. But, anyway, that's a weird thing for me to say. But I just find it kind of appalling how this song was so popular with such a saccharine instrumental and such absolute dog shit lyrics. Like, hefty bags don't even come in 2-ply. Toilet paper comes in 2-ply. Hefty, like, trash bags don't come in ply. They literally don't. And why would you want to associate your love with trash? What? Like, wait, am I talking about the wrong song? I am! Oh my god! No, okay, I think I am. I think that's Drive By. Look, all the train songs suck ass, okay? You're just gonna have to forgive me for confusing Hey Soul Sister with Drive By, okay?
You remember my favorite?
Yeah, and it sucks. Angel in Blue Jeans sucks. I never want to hear another train song in my entire life. But anyway, there are some really bad lyrics in Hey Soul Sister that I should have been talking about. Like, the fucking lipstick on the front lobe of my left side brain. I was like, wow, brain chemistry. When I'm a grown up, I'm gonna understand what that means. And now I'm like, my mother works with brain stuff. She's not like a surgeon or anything like that. She's like a mindfulness facilitator. But like, she knows this shit. I've heard this shit. I have friends doing psychology. That's not a thing. There's not front lobe of my left side brain. That's word salad. I feel pity for my younger self for thinking that had to make sense. That, like, the grown-ups around me definitely knew what that meant. Too much faith. Too much faith. Now, let's discuss Need You Now by Lady Antebellum. Okay? I remember hearing this song on the radio and thinking, 1:15 in the afternoon? I was, and there was something about that, you know, and now that I've realized it was supposed to be 1:15 at night, I'm like, wow, that makes sense. But, like, wouldn't it be worse to be drunk and needing your ex at 1 p.m. in the afternoon? Wouldn't that be worse? I choose to interpret it as being taking place at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. I just think that's better. So I am glad to share that with you guys. But altogether, I think it's a decent song. It's pretty good. I think it definitely captures something. I think the vocal connection, the vocal symmetry, what's the word? Chemistry. The vocal, it is 9:57 p.m. on a Thursday. Yeah, I think the vocal chemistry is good. I think we need more songs that sound like they're about older people. I think there are too many songs about 20-year-olds. Where are the songs about 35-year-olds who are divorced? I think that's more important sometimes, you know? I think of Need You Now and I'm like, wow, the people singing this song have had a lot of life that they've been through. They were married. Actually, these picture perfect shit. This isn't pictures of them at frat parties. This isn't shit that they posted on Instagram. It's like family reunion photos. It's birth of baby photos. It's like important lifetime milestone photos. I feel like there's a life experience being tapped into by this song that is undercovered in popular music, at least. Popular music is so into the teenagers, so into the 20-somethings. I applaud any attempt to do something different, really. And that's why I really like, more than Need You Now, I like, what is it? Remind Me, the Carrie Underwood, Keith Urban one. Like that one. Alright, let's talk about TikTok by Kesha. Now, my most fond memory of TikTok is I got Just Dance 2 on the Wii when I was like, I don't fucking know how old. And my dad bought me TikTok by Kesha, which was like an added song that you could have and there was a dance to it. And I remember being like, brush my teeth with a bottle of Jack? What's a bottle of Jack? What is that? Now, TikTok is dated as hell. I listen to it and I'm like, we kick them to the curb unless they look like Mick Jagger? Really? Swagger and Jagger were really rhyming. So many people were rhyming Swagger and Jagger. Like, that rhyme alone dates that song. Because only in 2010 to 2012 were people doing that. Like, you can't tell me if somebody released a song today that was rhyming Swagger and McJagger, you wouldn't be like, 2012 call, they want your fucking songwriting credits back. Like, you can't tell me people wouldn't be posting that on Twitter. Okay? I just think, people always say, or people always know, more like Anthony Fantano and like the musical critics who talk about the Hot 100 will talk about how, oh, the production is dated. I'm sorry, the lyrics are dated. Like, I feel like that kind of, that club vibe in the lyrics itself has gone out of style. The kind of trashiness, like, nobody's fucking trashy. Well, what are you looking at? I'll help you with your fucking website in 5 minutes when I'm done this. This is the last song. This is number one. It's number one. Okay. So it's like, oh my god, it's almost this video is almost 30 minutes long. That's crazy. Well, I'm not gonna edit it. So I hope you guys really enjoy hearing me talk for way too long. Let me wrap up my thoughts on TikTok by Kesha. It's fine. I honestly, what I was going to say about the club vibe is that I wish we would revisit the trashy kind of club vibe of like, I woke up hungover and I'm going to drink more today. I went out 2 nights in a row and I'm going to do it again even though all my good clothes are dirty by now. The like, I'm swiping through Tinder and I'm finding jack shit, but I'm going to fuck someone anyway. That vibe, where's that? Why is everyone wearing chains? I'm not wearing chains to the club. I'm wearing jeans. No. I'm borrowing my friend's clothes and looking weird, but also hot. Looking like I threw it together, but also looking hot. Like, I feel like that's the everyday club experience. And I think TikTok is better reflective of the everyday club experience than most club tracks now. And I just think that's important and we should return to it. So that's my take. Yeah. And I think that's probably good. I think that's probably enough. This is the longest video I've made so far. I'm gonna post it and I hope you guys like it. If you like hearing me talk, you probably did. But if you don't like hearing me talk, you probably didn't get this far. So, love you. Bye.